Tonight on CTV3 News, victim of tragic house fire battles for life after receiving severe burn injuries. 17-year-old Shadia Magania is placed in an induced coma. Curacao police charge a man accused of attempting to rob Moe's Market. He is sentenced to 3 years in prison. And the Court of Appeal hears arguments in Christopher Bradley's bid to overturn life sentence for the 2018 murder of Marta Gonzalez from Orange Walk. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, October 21st, 2025.
Looking for quality, tasty, and easy to prepare meals? Look no farther. M&M Frozen Foods, proudly distributed by United Distributors Limited, brings you a wide range of delicious frozen delights, perfect for every occasion. From frozen pizzas, quesadillas, garlic bread, jumbo samosa, cocktail samosas, pizza pockets, spring rolls, and hack and noodles. M&M Frozen Foods is fresh, flavorful and convenient for busy lifestyles. Whether you're planning a quick dinner, hosting a gathering, or stocking up for the week, M&M Frozen Foods has you covered. Available now at leading supermarkets and stores nationwide through United Distributors Limited. M&M Frozen Foods, extensive variety to satisfy every craving.
Attention farmers! The New World screwworm is a serious threat to livestock, pets, wildlife, and humans. It causes yield losses, damages the quality of meat and skins, and can even kill them if left untreated. Check your animals daily. If you see any wounds on them, treat them immediately. Prevention is key. Apply approved healing and fly repellents to the navel of newborn animals after dehorning, ear tagging, or any other practice that leaves wounds on your animals to ensure your animals' well-being. If you notice worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text or WhatsApp 670-7003 or call your nearest Ministry of Agriculture office. And don't forget, never transport or receive animals with injuries. Together, we will prevent the spread of this dangerous disease. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
We are the Public Utilities Commission. Since 1999, we have regulated Belize's electricity, water, and telecommunication sectors, ensuring quality services at reasonable rates for consumers. A lot has changed since our establishment in 1999, and so have we. To reflect our evolution and future-focused vision, we are proud to introduce our new identity, where the blend of colors show our balanced and inclusive approach to regulation, where innovation, sustainability, and trust are all equally important. Orange represents the telecommunications sector and symbolizes innovation and connectivity. Green reflects the energy sector, sustainability, and national growth. Blue represents the water sector, highlighting trust, stability, and life-sustaining resources. White symbolizes transparency and accountability, core principles of the PUC. We are the Public Utilities Commission, transitioning to a new look, but our core values remain the same: accountability, excellence, integrity, innovation, and professionalism. Our logo is more than a design. It is our visual commitment to continue to serve the people of Belize with transparency, competence, and professionalism. We are the Public Utilities Commission.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. 17-year-old Shadia Magania, a first-year student at Muffles Junior College, continues to fight for her life at the Carl Huster Memorial Hospital tonight after suffering third-degree burns to her entire body during Monday's devastating house fire in San Felipe Village, a blaze that claimed the lives of her mother, Angie Magania, and her 6-year-old brother, Tishan. Family have confirmed that Shadia remains in critical condition and is currently in an induced coma as she recovers from surgery to repair some of the extensive damages caused by the fire. Medical staff say her condition remains delicate, but her family continues to cling to hope. Speaking to our newsroom today, Shadia's maternal aunt said the family is praying for a miracle. We are trusting God to heal her, she said. She's a strong girl and we believe she can make it. As the family prepares to lay Angie and Tishan to rest later this week, they are also appealing to the public for prayers and financial assistance to help with Shadia's ongoing medical care. The teenager faces a long and difficult road to recovery, and her family hopes that with enough support, she can eventually be flown abroad for further treatment. Those wishing to assist can contact the family at 612-0919. Any donation, they say, will go a long way in helping Shadia rebuild her life after an unimaginable tragedy. As we've reported, the early morning inferno is believed to have been deliberately set by Angie's ex-common law husband, Francisco Godoy, who also sustained severe burns during the incident and remains hospitalized under police guard. Investigators say Godoy had a long history of violence towards Angie and had recently been released from the Kobe Foundation, where he served time for assaulting her. Just days before the fire, he reportedly broke into the family's home and issued threats. After that incident, Angie sought to obtain a restraining order, a process she was unable to complete before tragedy struck. Angie's current partner, Miguel Novello, also suffered injuries in the blaze. Police continue to investigate the case, which has sent shockwaves through the close-knit community of San Felipe, leaving many grappling with grief and anger over yet another case of domestic violence turned deadly. The tragic fire that claimed the lives of Angie Magani and her little boy Tashan while leaving 17-year-old Sheila fighting for her life has shaken the entire community of San Felipe village to its core. As the heartbreaking detail continues to unfold, this tragedy has evolved beyond the story of loss. It has become a painful reflection of the ongoing crisis of domestic violence in Belize. Angie's common law partner, Miguel Novello, who was also inside the home and suffered injuries during the blaze, told our newsroom that Angie had been living in fear ever since her ex-common law husband, Francisco Godoy, was released from prison.
El problema, él tiene una cuestión de RIP con ella, que no ha terminado. Y tenía otro que él acaba de salir la semana pasada, nomás salió donde tenía un restriction. Es lo que pasó.
Ella que ya había puesto reporte de él.
Venimos 2 veces aquí. El primer día que venimos llegamos un poquito tarde, a las 5 de la tarde, ya no la atendieron a ella. Y venimos al otro día, como a las 3, 2 para las 3. Y de ahí el muchacho García le dijo que espera a las 5 y que él le va a ayudar a hacer todo el papel y que él lo va a arreglar para ella, ¿no? Entonces ella agarró y junto conmigo, ella, ahí en el pick-up, ella hizo su statement y quedamos que hoy íbamos a venir a entregarlo.
Ella temía por su seguridad.
Sí, temía porque él ya había entrado como 2 días antes de hoy, de hoy, él ya había entrado en su casa de ella, así por arriba. Y le tapó su boca y le dijo que regresara con él, pero ella le dijo que no puede, pues ya vio que no es imposible hacer la vida con él. Entonces le preguntó que si ella tiene alguna, con alguien, ¿no? Con quién va a convivir. Y ella le dijo que sí. Y ella dijo que va a matar a los dos, dijo.
¿Y ya lo habían reportado ustedes?
No, ese papel es el que ella escribió acá conmigo en el pick-up para traer hoy. Ajá. Sí.
¿Piensa usted que si se iba a poder hacer algo, no sé, podría evitar algo así?
Pues, como me contaba ella, que él era una persona muy violento. Sí, él decía que si no es de él, de nadie más. Es lo que le decía a ella.
As the questions surrounding the details which occurred on the day before the tragic fire take center stage, authorities have since confirmed that Angie was indeed preparing to file that restraining order, one that could have sent Godoy back to prison since he was out on high court bail at the time. Police say this incident highlights the grave dangers faced by domestic violence victims, particularly in cases involving repeat offenders who continue to evade the system meant to protect those most at risk.
Certainly, in a situation where there exists a level of fear from a woman in such a situation, the prudent thing would be to report it to the station and intervention will be done by the part of the police officers. In this scenario, I think what would have been the ideal situation at hand was for a revocation of his high court bail. I think the only reason why there may have been a gap that allowed him to be on the street, and as you would see, it's a very narrow window, is because at the time that he went to court on Thursday, he was remanded from April up until that recent time. So I don't believe that steps would have been made to have his high court bail revoked, given that he was already remanded because of another incident. So it just so happened, and unfortunately so, that the situation at hand created a window for him, and he took advantage of it.
Okay, and then on the final thing for this, so as far as you all know, she made no complaint that he had been harassing her in the village?
I have not been advised of such, and as I stated before, though the investigation so far has pointed in certain way, and Mr. Godoy is listed as a person of interest in relation to this matter, it is still an ongoing investigation.
Tonight, Godoy remains hospitalized under police guard as investigators continue to piece together the events that led to one of the most shocking acts of domestic violence seen in recent years. A suspected robbery attempt at Moe's supermarket in Corozal was stopped in its tracks on Sunday evening thanks to the quick response of the store staff and nearby merchants. The incident took place shortly after 6:40 p.m. when a man later identified as 29-year-old Kevin Ryan Navarrete, who first identified himself to police as Ryan Delgado, entered the store armed with what appeared to be a firearm. According to Assistant Superintendent Stacy Smith of the Corozal Police Department, officers responded promptly after receiving reports of the attempted theft. Before Navarrete could carry out his plan, alert employees and other business owners intervened, successfully disrupting his attempt and preventing any items from being stolen. Navarrete was reportedly beaten by the store employees as they attempted to subdue him. Authorities clarified that any injuries he sustained will be thoroughly examined as part of the investigation. Today, Navarrete, who is from the village of Buena Vista in Corozal, was charged with attempted robbery and mischievous acts after giving a false name during his arrest. He was brought before the court today and pleaded guilty to those charges, for which he was sentenced to 3 years. In addition, he was faced a new charge stemming from a burglary that also occurred on Sunday. It has been confirmed that the air pistol used during the attempted robbery was stolen from a residence burglarized earlier that day. He is scheduled to return to court tomorrow to answer to the burglary charge. Coming up next, transport officers engage in intensive 3-week training. Stay tuned.
Bolido has been a part of the fabric of Belizean society. It's part of Belizean culture. And now, under new management and ownership by the government of Belize, it is contributing significantly to national development.
Belize Government Lotteries Limited is proud to officially launch the FUI Bolido app, now available for download from the Apple Play Store and Google Play. This launch is a revolutionary step in making Belize's favorite games more accessible than ever before. The innovative mobile platform will allow players to purchase Bolido, Ordinary Lottery, and Jackpot Lottery directly from their smartphones, giving players the freedom to play and win from anywhere in Belize. The FUI Bolido app will provide a trusted and secure payment gateway that will make every transaction simple and reliable.
Vacancy. 2 vacancies exist at Sugar City Medical Center. Nurse, full-time. Requirements: ability to manage patients pre- and post-surgery, at least 2 years of experience, and bilingual. Pharmacist, full-time. Requirements: experience in a hospital ward setting, at least 1 year of experience, and bilingual. If you are interested in joining our amazing team, send CV, recommendation letter, police record, and current license to sugarcitymedicalcenter@gmail.com. Deadline for applications October 31st, 2025.
The Court of Appeal today heard arguments from 28-year-old Christopher Bradley, who is currently serving a life sentence for the 2018 murder of Marta Gonzalez, a 68-year-old tamale vendor from Orange Walk. Bradley is seeking to have his conviction and sentence overturned. Gonzalez was reported missing in late November 2018, and her decomposed body was later discovered hidden inside a latrine on Bradley's property in Pomona Village, Stan Creek District. The victim has suffered a stab wound to the chest. Investigators revealed that Bradley took her bucket of tamales home, shared the food with his mother, and also handed his girlfriend the victim's gold chain as part of the alleged crime. Authorities further recovered Gonzalez's handbag and tamales bucket from near Bradley's residence. In 2021, Bradley was convicted of her murder, and in 2022, he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for 28 years. His lawyer, Dr. Lyndon Jones, argued before the appellate court that the evidence used in the trial was insufficient. He pointed out that the chain linked to the case was never introduced during court proceedings. There was no DNA connection between blood found in Bradley's home and the victim, and that the parole restriction was overly harsh. The Crown, represented by Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Shaniza Smith, defended conviction, emphasizing the strength of witness testimonies and circumstantial evidence that linked Bradley to the crime. Smith also highlighted Bradley's prior record of violent offenses. Throughout the trial, Bradley maintained his innocence, claiming he was not at home when Gonzalez was murdered. However, witnesses testified to the contrary. The Court of Appeal has now reserved its decision, awaiting to determine whether Bradley's convictions and sentence should be altered or upheld. 35 officers from the Department of Transport's enforcement teams across Belize are currently engaged in an intensive 3-week training initiative aimed at bolstering traffic enforcement and road safety measures nationwide. This specialized program is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Transportation and the Belize Police Department, BPD, designed to deepen officers' understanding of the country's traffic regulations while sharpening their enforcement techniques and operational skills. The participating officers are residing at the BPD's National Police Training Academy, where they are undergoing a blend of classroom learning and hands-on field exercises throughout the duration of the training.
What we have here are not just our national traffic personnel, but we also have traffic officers from the various municipalities. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that every traffic officer in this country, whether you're police, national traffic, or municipal traffic, that you are all trained in the ability to be able to perform your duties. Gone are the days when you apply for a job, you're accepted for the job, you're given a uniform, and you're told to go and do the job. The question then asks, how must I do the job? Am I being given the tools to do the job? Do I have the knowledge to do the job? Do I have the capabilities to do the job? So you're given a uniform, and you're given powers to execute a certain function, but no one took the time to train you, giving you the knowledge that you need to be able to perform that function that you are now being given. But when things goes wrong, the first to be blamed are you. Oh, the traffic officers are not doing nothing. This they happen, that they happen. They don't know how to issue tickets. The ticket they issue, badly issued. They cannot identify offenses. That's not your fault. Administration must always ensure that they provide the tools for employees to be able to perform their duties. Where that is not done, then administration would have failed you.
The aim of the 3-week session is to enhance enforcement capabilities across Belize, contributing to safer roads for all, the CEO in the Ministry of Transport, Chester Williams.
We will see excellence in the discharge of your duties. We will see a department that the public is going to respect, that the public is going to trust. A department that is going to make sure that the status quo on our thoroughfare, which is slowly becoming a graveyard, will come to an end. We owe that to our Belizean people. When we lose young lives on our highways, we are losing the future of our country, because our young generation are our future, and we must ensure we do what needs to be done to protect them.
Organizers have indicated that upon the completion of the initial cohort, the initiative will be extended to include 2 more groups of officers. The Belize Police Department and the Ministry of Transport have been cracking down on traffic violations through increased enforcement, new training programs, and stricter penalties. But even as patrols and checkpoints are intensified, the number of road traffic accidents and infractions increase. This means there is no room for improved skills and knowledge of traffic laws. According to Assistant Superintendent Stacy Smith, that is exactly what the Police Department and Ministry of Transport is aiming for.
The Police Department has been conducting operations consistently for this year alone. A total of 1,846 arrests have been made for traffic offenses and traffic violations, which include a myriad of offenses. 160 of those are in relation to persons who are arrested under the suspicion of driving under the influence of alcohol. So there has been extensive operation and enforcement approach by the department. Currently, about 40 or so police officers and transport officers are engaged in a training with a view to see how the enforcement can be ramped up. And I do know that discussions are being had and steps are being made to amend the legislation, because certainly it would want to appear that the legislation as it stands now does not serve the deterrence purpose, since many persons continue to violate the law. I believe some of the legislations that we will be seeing would include the increase of penalty, the implementation of new offenses, and maybe even criminal sentences, because traditionally the traffic area is one that is known to be just fine. But apparently it would want to appear that there is a need to move to a more stringent legislative provisions.
Honorable Anthony Mahler, Minister of Tourism, Youth, Sports, and Diaspora Relations, together with Chief Executive Officer Nicole Usher and His Excellency Oscar Arnold, Ambassador of Belize to Mexico, held productive meetings with Licenciada Josefina Rodriguez Zamora, Secretary of Tourism of Mexico, and her team from the Ministry of Tourism of Mexico, Licenciado Alejandro Fausto Guerrero, Secretary of Tourism of Mexico City, and Licenciado Bernardo de la Garza, President of the Mexican Cycling Union. The discussions focus on strengthening cooperation between Belize and Mexico in key areas, including tourism developments, sports and sports tourism, aviation connectivity, joint marketing initiatives, and other avenues for mutual collaboration. Additional meetings are planned as a part of a diaspora engagement event taking place on Saturday, October 18th in Mexico City. The ministry takes this opportunity to thank the ambassador and his team at the Embassy of Belize in Mexico for all the support in this important visit. And there is more news after the break.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp.
Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans.
Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
On August 19, 2025, the National Environmental Appraisal Committee convened to review the Environmental Impact Assessment EIA and supplemental documents submitted by Sartaneja South Winds Limited for a proposed subdivision and tourism project located west of Sartaneja Village in Corozal District. After a thorough evaluation of the reports and consideration of public concerns, NEAC recommended that the project receive environmental clearance under strict conditions designed to mitigate potential negative impacts on the environment, society, and archaeological sites. Key recommendations include approving the project in phases, beginning with Phase 1, with subsequent phases contingent upon compliance and approval from the Department of Environment, DOE. An updated vegetation map must be submitted before each phase starts, detailing the types and extent of area to be cleared. To promote renewable energy, NEAC advised advancing the construction of a solar farm to Phase 2, which would supply clean energy. Additional stipulations involve leaving the construction of a third canal near Cayo Falso in its natural state. Environmental safeguards also include prohibiting septic tanks for residential units, requiring a performance bond, and mandating archaeological clearance and ongoing monitoring during development. The Department of Environment has accepted NEAC's recommendation and informed the developers of its decision. An environment compliance plan will be developed and signed to ensure all potential adverse impacts are effectively mitigated as the project advances. The government of Belize has announced an extension of the MSME tax amnesty program until December 31st, 2025, providing additional opportunities for micro, small, and medium enterprises to benefit. This development was confirmed during a special sitting of the House of Representatives held on October 17, 2025. Through this extension, eligible MSMEs will have more time to settle outstanding business taxes, including penalties and interest, and qualify for up to 1 year of tax exemption. The extension also ensures that previously submitted applications from roadshow stops are processed smoothly, allowing all qualified MSMEs to receive their tax amnesty certificates. To facilitate this process, the government has scheduled additional road show stops in key locations: November 4th in San Pedro at the Lions Den, November 5th in Key Cocker at the Community Center, and November 7th in Punta Gorda at St. Peter Claver Parish Hall. The upcoming roadshow in Belmopan will take place on October 27 at the Belmopan Civic Center, providing another opportunity for MSMEs to participate. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, October 22nd here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.